welcome to Disney and Beyond, your one-stop shop to all things Disney and pop culture. Let me begin by saying a happy belated 89th birthday to Mickey Mouse. It was the celebration of the creation of Mickey Mouse on the 18th, which was the Saturday just gone. They were celebrating that over in the Disneyland Park in California with a parade and merchandise and some other things going on. So, happy birthday to Mickey Mouse. With that in mind, I thought it'd be good to cover some Disney news this week. Quite a lot going on in the Disney Company with regards to all sorts of things. Some good, some not so good. But let's take a look. So, for those of you that haven't seen one of these videos before, I usually break it down into three different parts. The first part being all the Disney parks and resorts news. The second part being the film news with a lot of TV. And the final part being gaming related news, because Disney last year closed their gaming division. So now the majority of their games are outsourced and the licenses are sold. So there isn't always a lot of gaming news to cover, but we have got some very big gaming news today. So, with regards to the parks and resorts, obviously it's that time of year where Christmas is in full swing around the Disneyland Park, Disneyland Paris, Disneyland California, Walt Disney World. All of them have a massive Christmas offering at the moment. So, my park is obviously the Disneyland Park, obviously Disneyland Paris, and I will be going there this Christmas, so I will hopefully get lots of photos and a vlog for you guys to see. But for those of you that are planning on going to Disneyland Paris this year for Christmas, there is a lot going on, and so far, most of it has been really well received. You've got Goofy's Incredible Christmas, which is a nighttime show in the Studio Park, the Walt Disney Studio Park. You've got Sing Me a Merry Christmas, which is also in the Hollywood Studios? No, in the Walt Disney Studios Park in Disneyland Paris. You've got the Disney Christmas Parade, which takes the same parade route in the Disneyland Park as the usual parade. You've got Frozen Sing-Along, which I do believe is in the Chaparral Theatre. You've got Merry Stitchmas, which is a castle stage show in the Disneyland Park. You can meet Santa in the usual Mickey Mouse meet and greet area. And there's also Mickey's Big Band, which takes place in Videopolis in Discoveryland in the Disneyland Park. So that's on top of all the decorations that are there, some merchandise, and some special food offerings. So there's a lot to offer at Disneyland Paris this year for Christmas, far more than there was for the Halloween, which if you haven't seen my blog for the Halloween, I'll leave that in the description below. But I am very, very excited to see the Christmas stuff. I am very, very excited to get out there and check all that out. And as I say, I will get lots of pictures, lots of videos for you guys to see. Apparently, the nighttime show, which is also in Hollywood Studios in Walt Disney World, has been very, very well received, very, very enjoyable, and apparently I've done a really great job with the projection mapping onto the Tower of Terror. And Mickey's Big Band is another big highlight in Disneyland Paris if you're going out there. So definitely make sure you go and check that stuff out. Christmas isn't the only thing that's taking place in the Disneyland Park or any of the Disney resorts around the world. If you've seen my previous videos, you will have seen me covering some news on the Toy Story Land coming to Hollywood Studios in Walt Disney World. That land is moving at a rapid pace. The Slinky Dog Dash coaster has been installed. The cars are there, the track is there, and the other day, the statue of Rex from Toy Story was also installed. The Slinky Dog Dash, if you don't know, is a launch coaster. Essentially, it's got two launch sections, and it goes around pretty much most of the land. And it's going to take approximately 50 seconds minus the lift hill. So it's going to be a very fast, very quick, very exciting coaster. Now, it does look from early concept art to have been slightly scaled down. In fact, land in general has been slightly scaled down. But it's going to be a great addition to the Hollywood Studios Park. It can certainly do with a couple more thrill rides. And it will basically be the centerpiece and the main attraction in the Toy Story Land area, along with Toy Story Mania and the Flying Saucer ride with the aliens. So that is happening currently at Walt Disney World, and that park is due to open next summer. So exciting times in Hollywood Studios. But also sticking with Hollywood Studios, we've got some more details on the Stormtrooper Battle Escape ride coming to Galaxy's Edge, which, if you don't know, Galaxy's Edge is the other land, Star Wars themed land, coming to Hollywood Studios. It's going to be based around the First Order, and it will be an escape and chase kind of theme to the ride. It's going to be around 7 minutes long, with 150, 150 animatronics, from small aliens to giant AT-ATs. You know, that to me sounds absolutely amazing. I cannot wait. Just to see some of these AT-ATs up close that are going to be animatronic is going to be awesome. And, some of them will be basic animatronics, some of them will be advanced animatronics. They've also got some specially created effects that have been designed just for this ride. They're using new technologies, and it just sounds really great. It's going to be trackless, so you won't be on a track. It'll be very much like Ratatouille in France. But yeah, it's apparently going to take 1,500 guests per hour, which is roughly half the capacity of Pirates of the Caribbean. There are rumours that guests may get on one vehicle, get partway through the ride, disembark to then get on another vehicle, which sounds very, very unique to me. Sounds really, really interesting. I can't wait for Galaxy's Edge to be finished. I can't wait to see it personally. I will make a specific trip to Walt Disney World when it's finished, because as you guys know, I am a huge Star Wars fan. But yeah, that is the Stormtrooper Battle Escape coming to both Walt Disney World and Disneyland Park in California. And yeah, can't wait for that. So excited. Okay, so shifting from Walt Disney World over to the West Coast with Disneyland Park, California. There are rumours that the Mickey Mouse Runaway Railway ride, which is coming to Hollywood Studios, where the Chinese theatre is, may be making a move over to California, as well as Walt Disney World. The idea is to bring more life to Mickey's Toontown area. They had plans to develop the Disneyland Park. Obviously, it's getting the Star Wars land, but there were plans previously to give it a Fantasyland overhaul, such as the one in Walt Disney World, but also part of that was going to be a Frozen themed area, like they're doing in Tokyo Disney Sea. However, those plans have been scrapped, and those rumours don't seem to be taking place now, but they do want to develop the Toontown area. And the Mickey Mouse Railway ride, Runaway Railway, is a brand new 2.5D ride. It's basically projection mapping on 3D objects to make them look 2D but 3D. It's a very unique way of doing things. It's a little bit like what they do with nighttime shows of the projection mapping on the castle and Hollywood Tower of Terror. Um, but this ride could be a whole new life to the detailed area because at the moment all it's really got is a Go Gadget coaster and the Roger Rabbit. I can't think what it's called. The Roger Rabbit cartoon spin ride, which at the moment it looks like if the Mickey Mouse ride comes, Roger Rabbit cartoon spin will stay because there is some backstage area they could use to house the ride. In Walt Disney World, the ride will be, I think it's 1,500 acres, but because of the nature of the ride, it can be scaled back, and California could get a smaller version so that they can then fit it in the space that they have. Because one issue with the California park is that there is no space to build. It is cramped as hell over there, and any new works have to be very carefully planned because of the way in which the park is built. But it could also go where the Go Gadget coaster is, along with Mickey Mouse's house. But that would mean removing those items. And in my opinion, I'm not entirely sure fans would like to lose Mickey Mouse's house. I can see them get rid of the coaster, but not the house. Other than that, the only other space is the Roger Rabbit cartoon spin. But again, that's quite a popular attraction, so and it's unique to the park, so I can't see them getting rid of that. But yeah, it's certainly, if you're over in California or you're visiting Disneyland Resort in California, it's certainly exciting to hear that they may be getting the Mickey's Runaway Railway, because that ride sounds cutting edge and really, really interesting, and it's certainly one I hope to experience when I go back to Walt Disney World when Hollywood Studios is finally finished. Okay, so that is essentially all the parks news at the moment. Some big things happening, with Star Wars Land, Toy Story Land over Walt Disney World, Christmas in all the parks, California getting some of the offerings from Walt Disney World. It's just a really exciting time to be a Disney Parks fan and to be a guest at those parks. But parks aside, moving on to film and TV. Now, we had some quite interesting news this week. The biggest and what I found the most exciting was Lucasfilm, which is obviously a division of Disneyland, announced a new Star Wars trilogy to be developed by Rian Johnson in a never explored area of the Star Wars universe. I am so excited for this. The thought of getting another trilogy after the current trilogy is, for a Star Wars fan, like winning the lottery. That means we're going to get Star Wars for the next, 10 to 15 years, which is awesome. Obviously, there aren't any other details at the moment, other than that it's going to be developed by Rian Johnson, who has done a fantastic job on The Last Jedi, apparently. I can't wait for The Last Jedi to come out. I've booked my tickets. I am so excited for that film. But that aside, my opinion is that this new trilogy may be set in the Old Republic era. It is an area that's been explored in games. It is an area that's been explored in comic books. But that's all in Legends stuff now. That's all in the old Star Wars canon. Not a lot of it's been brought into the new canon. So technically, it is an area that hasn't been explored before. And it would see the Jedi at the height of their power, and it would see possibly recover the Jedi Sith War. That would be an awesome period to cover. There's been a few nods in different bits of canon. There's been some nods in Star Wars Rebels. There's been some nods in the comics. There's been some nods in the current films, Force Awakens. Revan's helmet, for example, is very much like Kylo Ren's. It talks about the past in The Last Jedi. in the trailer. So my money is on the Old Republic. Not only that, everybody wants a Yoda film. There's very few ways in which they can do a Yoda film, but Yoda could feature in an Old Republic era trilogy because Yoda is over 1,000 years old. People are also used to seeing a CGI Yoda now. So they can make Yoda look younger. It could be Yoda's early days as a Padawan. It could be his early days as a Master. It could literally be anything. These are just guesses. This is just conjecture on my part, but I really, really, really hope it is a old trilogy or old Republic trilogy because that to me would be awesome, and the lightsaber duels and stuff would be amazing. But who knows? Hopefully, we'll find out maybe next year, or we may not even hear anything until Episode 9 comes out about the new trilogy. But it's certainly exciting news. But that wasn't the only Star Wars topic covered. They also talked about a TV series exclusive to the new Disney streaming service. Now, for those of you that don't know, Disney in the UK have a streaming service called Disney Life. It's essentially every Disney movie ever made, and a lot of their TV output and all sorts of things. Very much Disney Netflix. But in other countries, Netflix have the rights to Disney properties. But Disney are ending that contract next year with Netflix to create their own Disney branded streaming service. Very much Disney Life, but global. And as part of this, there's going to be lots of exclusives. And a Star Wars TV show, along with a new Marvel show and some other made for TV stuff, are going to be exclusive to the streaming service. But I am so hyped and so excited for a Star Wars TV live action TV series. It's been on the cards for a very long time. I know Lucasfilm had plans for a Bounty Hunter series way before Disney bought the company outright. The issue has always been with budget constraints and the scale of the Star Wars TV shows, because with Star Wars there's an expectation, there's an aesthetic to it, and if something doesn't match that, then it kind of jar with the rest of the output. But Disney have the ability to make a TV show. Disney have the means to pay for a show that can upscale to the level of quality of the films. So my money will still be on the Bounty Hunter show because there are hundreds of hours of scripts written for that specifically, which they could use as a basis to create a show. Also, if it's a Bounty Hunter show, it could fit in the procedural crime drama kind of genre, which would be fantastic. It would be unique, and I think it's something that would make me want to pay a subscription to Disney to get the streaming service. But yeah, if you're a Star Wars fan at the moment, it truly, truly is an exciting time with this news mixed with the park stuff going on. It's just amazing to be a Star Wars fan at the moment. So yeah, Lucasfilm will hopefully have a TV show, and I'm definitely getting a new trilogy of films. Okay, so also in the Disney film and TV world, it's reportedly been reported, that was a weird sentence to say, but it's been reported that there have been talks between Disney and 21st Century Fox for Disney to take the majority of the Fox company, essentially. The acquisition, as they're calling it, would be to focus 21st Century Fox's output. They want to focus their attention on their slate of news and sports networks, because if Disney do acquire the 21st Century Fox company, they will not be allowed to take the sports and news channels, because Disney already have ESPN and they already have a news outlet. And in America, that creates a monopoly, and you're not allowed more than one news outlet, so they can't take that. But it does mean that Disney would get partial ownership of the Sky company, which is a telecommunications company in the UK. They would get National Geographics and FX, along with all the film licenses and film properties that 21st Century Fox own. So basically, the entire TV output, the entire film output, and obviously the other networks that Fox do own. The only thing they wouldn't be getting is the sport and the news, as I said. This has massive implications for the Marvel shows and Marvel properties that Fox do own. Obviously, Fox's biggest asset is the X-Men universe. And if Disney buy Fox, that means they get the license back to the X-Men. Does this mean Disney will reboot the X-Men? Will the X-Men play a role in the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? No one really knows. Talks are not ongoing. They have stopped, but they could continue at a later date. It's very, very exciting. I think a lot of it is to do, again, with the streaming service. Obviously, Disney need to, in order to attract people that will pay for a subscription along with their own stuff, they need to increase their catalogue. And by buying Fox, they can do that. And it means they can create a lot more shows and a lot more films exclusively for the streaming service. It's certainly very exciting. I would like to see Disney do a take on X-Men. Obviously, they did with Spider-Man from Sony. They worked hand in hand with Sony, and Spider-Man is now back on track. I think they could do the same with X-Men. I think the X-Men could fit in the Marvel Universe. I don't really like the direction Fox have taken Marvel. I think they've tried to jump on the shared universe bandwagon by creating as many X-Men properties as they possibly can. The best X-Men property is actually Deadpool, and Disney did play a large role in the Deadpool film. So that says it all, really. Again, Wolverine is another one Disney were heavily involved in, and Wolverine was a great film. Logan, or Logan, as the film was called, was really good. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, if Disney get their hands on Fox, that's gonna make for some very interesting news pieces. And it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen with the future of the Marvel X-Men universe that Fox has created. Because in my opinion, Disney will scrap it and start again, and somehow tie it into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But we will see. Comcast are also interested in buying Fox, so it just depends on which direction Fox decide to go to give them the best deal. But hopefully, it will go to Disney. Only time will tell. Okay, so finally on the film front, we have dropped the Incredibles 2 teaser trailer. Yep, Incredibles 2 has finally got a teaser trailer out, and I will show it to you guys right now.
You have powers! Yeah, baby!
That to me looks really funny. I'm a big fan of The Incredibles. Really enjoyed the original film, and For those of you that don't know, Incredibles 2 sees everyone's favourite family of superheroes back. The film has all the original voice cast. It's been written and directed by Brad Bird, who did the original. The film sees Bob, who is Mr. Incredible, at home with Violet, the eldest daughter, and Dash, their son, at home navigating the day-to-day heroics of normal life. Tough transition for everyone, made tougher by the fact that the family is still unaware of baby Jack Jack's emerging superpowers. When a new villain hatches a brilliant and dangerous plot, the family and Frozone, who is voiced by Samuel L. Jackson, must find a way to work together again, which is easier said than done, even when they're all incredible. So that's the plot line and the story for the film. I can't wait for this to come out. It's been a long time coming, and yeah, I am really excited. As I say, big fan of the original, and hopefully soon we will get a proper full-length trailer. But until then, keep your eyes out for that, because Incredibles 2 is going to be awesome. Okay, so finally we have gaming news, and really, there is only one Disney-related gaming news story to talk about at the moment, and sadly that is Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'll link it in the description below, but I did do a video on the controversy surrounding Battlefront 2 at the moment. A lot has happened, a lot has changed since then. I won't go into massive detail, but essentially EA the other day at launch, on launch day in fact, withdrew the microtransactions that allow players to essentially pay to win the game. In the game there are loot boxes. Those loot boxes give you direct upgrades to your soldier, to your characters, that give you in-game benefits, and these loot boxes can be bought for real-world money. So essentially that creates a pay-to-win scenario. And the CEO, Bob Iger, of Disney, contacted the CEO of EA. Nobody really knows what happened in these talks, but EA suddenly withdrew the in-game currency that you can buy for real money. Rumours have it that Bob Iger forced EA to remove the content from the game because countries like Holland, Belgium, and a couple of other European countries are investigating the game for illegal gambling. They are trying to declare whether these loot boxes are a form and system of gambling, in which case there will need to be more stringent controls of it. Yeah, and this has brought a lot of bad publicity, which has been aimed directly at the Star Wars brand. And if it's something Disney doesn't like, it's the bad publicity, especially when it's aimed at one of their biggest, if not their biggest property. They have a huge slate of films planned, as I've mentioned. They've got a lot of plans for Star Wars. And the last thing they want is a game that's been developed by a third party to directly influence people's opinions of the Star Wars brand. And Disney don't really want to be linked to anything like gambling or anything like that. So, yeah, the main news story there is that EA have now removed the in-game currency that allows players to buy loot boxes for real-world currency. And that's a good move and a good thing for gamers because it removes the pay-to-win, but EA have also said that loot boxes will return in some form down the line. My hope is that it will be cosmetic items only in the loot crates, but there's also a possibility that they are just waiting for the furor to die down, waiting for the film to come out and for that to die down before returning the loot boxes back to the way they were before they took them out. But in my opinion, I don't think gamers will stand for that. There are a lot of issues with Battlefront 2. Its Metacritic score is dropping rapidly. It's now lower than Battlefront, which came out in 2015. And there was a lot of criticism of that game too. I think this will affect EA's future Star Wars plans. I think this will affect the future of the updates and things for Battlefront 2. I think this will have affected the longevity of Battlefront 2. But yeah, as I say, loot boxes aside, I would give the game 6.5 out of 10, maybe. For me, there's just too many issues. The campaign was too short. A lot of the maps are very badly balanced. A lot of the weapons are very badly balanced. A lot of that is to do with the progression system. Um, there's so many bugs and glitches, and yeah, there's just a lot. And the grind, the credit drop rate is just ridiculous. And the only way to get loot boxes now to progress in the game is to earn credits via playing the game. But it's just become an unenjoyable grind, mainly because of the progression system. And I think EA really do need to work on the game, but in my opinion, it may be too late to fix it, which is a shame because on the whole, it's a beautiful game. 60-70% of the time, it's enjoyable, depending on the map, depending on the mode. But yeah, we will see what happens. And as I say, I'll keep you guys updated on that one. Okay, so that is essentially it from me today. They were the biggest news stories that I think have come out over the last couple of weeks. There will be a Friday feature this week, so look out for that. If you like the video, please hit that thumbs up button, as it really does help out the channel, and it's very much appreciated. Leave your comments below. Are you excited for the Star Wars land? Are you excited for Toy Story land? What do you think of Disney potentially buying 21st Century Fox? Are you excited for The Incredibles 2 coming out? So yeah, leave any comments of that below, and hopefully we'll get some discussions going. But also, if you don't want to miss any more Disney and Beyond content, hit that subscribe button, as again, it really does help out the channel, and is very much appreciated. As I say, I will be back at the end of the week with a Friday feature. This week we will be looking at what I consider to be the top 5 attractions that I think Disneyland Paris could do with. So these will be attractions that aren't currently in Disneyland Paris, but I think should be considered as additions to the park over there. So look out for that. But that's it from me. Until next time, to infinity and beyond.